There is an unspoken rule that decides whether your thesis passes or not, and it is not about perfection. It is not the amount of literatures you include in your research project. Examiners are expecting only four things, and no one teaches it clearly, but you are expected to know. So in this video, I'll be telling you what those four rules are. So the first one is originality, however small it is. You want to show that your work is original. You want to show that you've done something new. You don't want your supervisors to think that you are just recycling old literatures. For example, did you apply a theory in a new context, or did you decide to include some population that are often overlooked in your research, like at-risk population, or did you combine ideas in a new way, or did you test a new theory? You have to make sure that there's some level of originality in your work, else it will just be waste of time and resources, because what you are doing has already been done and then you are just recycling literatures. So however small it is, you have to show some level of originality. It doesn't have to be big, but even if it's something small, you just want to see its existence in your thesis. And also you need to be able to communicate the originality of your work clearly, so that your examiner or your supervisor don't have to be guessing. Once they see it, they know that, oh, this is what is new, this is what is unique about this study. So for example, you can use phrases like, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first study conducted in this particular population, or so far this is the first study that apply a certain theory in a certain way, and that's it. And the second one is your study's significance and impact. Now this is where you want to answer the question of, why does your study matter? Who does it help? Is it going to change people's lives, or is it going to add new knowledge of what is unknown, or is it going to solve a problem? You need to articulate this very well in your thesis, and even include the population that it's going to help and how it can be applied in practice. So the third one is a coherent argument and a scholarly voice. Now when we talk about coherent argument, we are talking about your ability to tell one story from the start of your thesis till the end, and your ability to say that these are your conclusions. You don't want to sound unsure of your words. You don't want to sound unsure of your conclusion. You have to be confident in everything that you are writing. Now for you to make a coherent argument, you don't want to start writing about, let's say, preeclampsia, and then you end up writing about pregnancy. Yes, we know that preeclampsia is related to pregnancy, but you have to stick to what you are researching. You don't want to be mixing ideas or trying to answer too many questions. If anything that you are writing does not move you closer to what you are researching, or to your conclusions, to your at least expected findings, then it doesn't belong in your research. You should just remove that paragraph. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that unexpected findings are not welcomed. You can be thinking that something is going to be, the outcome of something is going to be positive, but it might end up being negative. So that doesn't mean that you should remove it. What I'm saying is, if it doesn't contribute to the primary aim of your research, then you should just remove it. That means it's just noise, it is not needed in your study. And when we talk about scholarly voice, we are talking about your ability to communicate your written words in academic way, in a scientific way, because I've once received this reviewer's comment saying that our manuscript needs a scientific editing because the language was so basic, and it was a kind of general. Like, we were not using some words that were specific to what we were writing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but seriously, that was what happened. So we need to rewrite some paragraphs so that it can sound scientific enough and academic enough. So you have to keep this at the back of your mind. Now the last one is a mastery of the field. Now this is not just about you listing studies. You need to show that you understand your study, you understand where your study fits in. You should be able to explain your thesis without getting lost or defensive if anyone asks you any questions. So that means you have to read enough literatures in that field, in that area, to know what is actually going on in order to explain your own findings and where it fits in. Now this isn't about being brilliant, it's about how you frame your work. and explain its value. It means you've moved from consuming knowledge to producing it. You've moved from being a student to become an independent researcher. And here's how you can proactively protect yourself. So number one thing is you want to write your contribution paragraph and constantly refine it whenever it is needed. Remember, research is iterative. As you write, you're going to discover some gap and then you're going to go back to do some findings, to search more literature. So if there's need for you to refine your contribution statement to make it more relevant and more relatable to policy or practice, just do it. And second one is to ask directly, is my contribution clear and significant? So if your answer is no, or you're not sure, that means you need to rewrite your contribution. You need to make sure that it is really, really significant to the population or to the policy or to the practice. And the third one is to try reading award-winning theses in your specialty and see how they frame their value. See if there's something that you can gain out of it. Look at how they present their arguments and the mastery of that field. And the next thing that you can do is to practice saying your contribution in 1 minute. If you can't, it means it is not yet clear. You need to rewrite your contribution, or you need to find out more gaps to see how you can actually contribute. So at this point, you understand how academia really evaluates research. The only thing that is remaining is execution. So if you like this video, you can like and subscribe to my channel, and I wish you good luck in your writing journey. Bye.